What's up? Nels and B and Laura and Darlene in the house. I can't promise that all these mixes are going to be all that groovy, but it's only rock and roll. it's easier to play that on my acoustic. I don't understand it, but it is. It's easier for me to get it clean. Get that F chord clean. It fucking kills me. What's up, you guys? I just thought I'd shred for a minute and then maybe do some yapping. It's probably getting about a couple minutes to 9 here. Hopefully you guys can hear me all right. I don't do this sitting and playing setup very often. Mac, what's up, brother? Mac and Jay were going to town earlier. I don't know what happened with that, dude. Like all right, cool, you know, Biden's, and I don't know, I seen the notice at a couple hours ahead of time, right? But you know us, do the pressers and the fucking rallies and this and that, and sometimes we get a busy stream, but sitting there waiting for that Biden presser to start, and couple people wander in, and next thing you know, there's a fucking shitload of fucking chuds just stormtrooping. It was fun. One of these days I'll be more prepared to do some of my other original shit. I did repost Just Another Day earlier. Yeah, you guys did great. I'm always fucking around with shit, and especially as late as that presser. Like, there's a certain feed that I prefer to use because they don't ever have pop-up ads, and I can't seem to avoid them without probably getting a hold of some other news agency that streams it and, you know, figuring it out. I'm sure it wouldn't cost very much, but it costs more than I care to pay or can pay right now for those streams, right? I mean, if we were busy all the time like that, that'd be cool. Down the road, hopefully, or maybe. Yeah, it was just, you guys did fine. I don't mind Mac, and two, I don't mind, you know me, brother. I don't ever, it's rare that I've ever had to like ask moderators to hold back, because at the end of the day, it's like, you know, no matter what it was, somebody was just keeping somebody from saying something, some really stupid bullshit, right? So yeah, I get sick of the one thing I can't stand, I guess my really big pet peeve is making light of the kids dying in Gaza and even Lebanon and certainly Ukraine. And I get that there's plenty of other countries where there's a lot of fucked up shit going on. But, you know, we aren't the world's police, and we have to start somewheres. We have to you know, help encourage the fledgling democracies like Ukraine, I guess. Yeah, yeah, Laura, that'd be cool. Um, Canada's elections are coming up. I think Laura's told me the 28th. So next, 2 weeks on Monday. 2 weeks from yesterday, I guess it'd be. Yeah, that'd be cool. Yeah, and I'm open, Laura, because I know you know you kind of have a schedule at times like I do. I'm out of fucking shitty weather though. I'll be busy. I have been on and off. Today was another nice down day, but um yeah, whenever, sister, before one of your news streams, afterwards on the weekend. Yeah, right on, darling. It's insane. And I can be a smart ass, and I don't have a problem with that. And I know that our moderators, you know, if someone didn't just come in on fire stupid, right, then it's not so hard to be a little bit more tolerant. But right away, when someone shows their cards, that they're just gonna be a fucking, it's like be as sarcastic and shitty as you want, but can't you, you know, be fucking talking about fucking people being pedophiles or whatever who aren't, and all this fucking crazy shit, right? And it's like, I asked that one dipshit, he's like, who was president when Putin invaded Ukraine and whatever the other was, it Hamas? Yeah, I was gonna say Hezbollah. Hamas, and attacked Israel. Who's president? And I'm like, are we? You fucking Trumpers are always bitching about not being the world's police. Really? Biden Biden is right inside fucking Hamas's ear and Putin's ear. Are you fucking kidding me? That's what Trump thinks. Trump thinks he's inside fucking Putin's ear. Like a mosquito, maybe. Yeah, Laura, for sure. Absolutely. I'm gonna have to do my homework so I can pound you with some questions. Yeah, it's just insane, and I didn't have a problem with at one point, Mac, reminding those folks that I understand their anger and dissatisfaction, but their animosity is misplaced, and it's unfortunate that they were suckered by a rapist con man. I wouldn't call Trump a rapist. He hadn't been proven in a court of law. I don't deny that there's probably all, I mean, society's filled with all kinds of fucked up people that seem really normal on the surface, right? I hear it every day that I don't seem normal on the surface, so that's a comfort. I don't have anything to hide. Doesn't get any worse than what you see. And there's no doubt they fucking span the spectrum, right? You guys, I don't give a fuck what party affiliation has little to do with someone's fucking twisted psychotic behavior. Yeah, so I have a problem reminding folks that it's like whoever it was, Kevin or yeah, something like that. And there was some Brian character. Casper, what's up, sister? Cheers to you. Something was up though, Mac. I don't know. It's just odd. You know, you've been around long enough. Just don't. I mean, I get that there's times that we'll stream some shit like that that'll get we'll have a busier stream for whatever reason, right? Just sometimes it's the in the cards or whatever, but that was strange. It really was. I mean, it was almost a little bit, I don't know. It was a lot of, it wasn't like an overwhelming amount of chuds being super fucking extreme, but, and I don't get it. I don't know if it's, I seen one post said that that was Biden's first public address since um, leaving office. I don't know. For some reason, I don't feel like that's true, but possibly. I don't know. I don't think that that's true. I feel like he had spoken with him and Kamala did some sort of public thing not that long ago. Maybe it was while they're maybe it was just late in January or something. That I don't know. I never checked to see how busy any of the other regular streams were, like AP and Washington Post or whatever. So I think last night was kind of mentioned, or at least I think I mentioned it, feeling like I guess on the like tension wise or media wise, I think we might see things a little bit quieter than they have been with this, mainly because of this pause on the tariffs, right? That was causing so much havoc with the market, and then of course the media is going to be all over that, and Trump is feels like he's absolutely pressed to make public comments from the Oval Office every day when shit's going fucking sideways. I don't think. I mean, the pressure's still on. There's still, however much hype or tension there is, however many I don't see Trump I wonder every day. I wonder like what's the presser gonna how often does before this administration, seriously, I mean, how many pressers did Trump hold from the Oval Office in his first term? I can't believe he's probably already tripled that himself, right? Like this, and maybe I'm wrong and just, don't pay attention to that shit, but I honestly, I feel like it just didn't happen from the Oval Office very often unless it was like really some sort of, urgent, serious event for the most part, right? Man, it's just fucking crazy. It's like the fucking locker room up in there in the Oval Office. Hey Bear, what's up, sister? Cheers to you. Hey Bear, you see who I got hanging out with me? You see that sexy ass green motherfucker with the Led Zeppelin guitar? Yeah, when time flies, you're having fun. Wow, wow. Oh, did you? I missed that. Did you say hi to Gumby before me? I hope so. You did. Or maybe you didn't. You did. Did you? I better look again to be sure. First post I see from A Bear is Ola, Campers, Grump, or Gumby, and Cowardly Spy Lala. It's alright. No love for TV. I'm fine. I'm not needy. Wow, wow. Wow, wow, wow. This is all fucking jacked up, you know what? There we go. Maybe I can spin it now. If I don't take out Gumby. Alright. That makes me a little bit more. My OCD was kicking in with the microphone. It still is a little bit, like I'm fucking staring at it through my lower peripheral vision. What the fucker right up on me. What do you guys think? What the fuck are we doing? Who's going out and or even if you can't go out, who's gonna this is hard for me to say, but I don't know, I feel like anything I was gonna ask who's gonna go out and do some campaigning, or who's gonna do some door knocking or some phone calling. And I don't know how much of that shit helps. I'm not saying it doesn't. But it there's no way in hell it hurts, right? So don't feel frustrated or like don't be a pessimist for sure. You can be you don't have to choose between the glass is half full, half empty. Sometimes the glass is just too goddamn big. I mean, I think it's a real testament to the fact that you folks are here. People are still out. They're still voicing their concerns, their frustration, or we all are, right? So, where even if it's sitting in our fucking cheap ass studio in West Michigan, haven't stopped. Me and Mighty talk for a second. You guys know how much I love that bastard, for fuck's sake. He's not a mushy kind of guy, and that's probably part of what I love about him. He doesn't he's fucking rock solid steady, right? It's like, man, TV, I don't know, I'm so fucking burnt or whatever, just completely turned off or uninterested in politics. Is just getting blah. And I'm like, I know, man. I don't know what to say either, but I don't know I don't know what to do when you wake up every day and yeah, I mean, not that Mighty would ever be a quitter. I know better than that, and that's not what he was saying. It's just maybe the we all get exhausted anyways, I guess. A Bear says door knocking is surprisingly effective. Well, I tell you what, with A Bear, with someone like me, I can see it being so. If someone knocks on my door and with whatever time I give them, which could depend on the day, right? You know me, I could sit and listen to some bullshit for an hour, or they might have 5 fucking seconds. Yeah, I get it. I mean, I love Bill. I beat up on him. I don't know if I beat up on him. I hope not. I hope he keeps coming around. So, when I mention some of you folks in this way, it's only because I'm like, I admire you guys, look up to you, really respect, appreciate, and absorb what you say, at least, when something that you say strikes me. Bill, and I've recently am right with him. It's like, I wish I was better at getting all these fucking thoughts together quicker. I watched Michael Feldman last night, and he's like, my dad, and I can't remember what it was. He asked his dad for a dog. His dad said no, and I forget the reason why his dad said no. Michael Feldman's older than me, but now, right? And he's like, and whatever it was, his dad had lied to him. And he's like, but you know what? My dad knew the kid he raised. He knew that I was lying when I said I wouldn't take care of the fucking dog. I wouldn't walk it and I wouldn't clean up the piles of shit. What I'm trying to get to, I guess, is, and with Bill, and I agree with him a lot, it's like, I don't think I'm too much into cliches, but gloves off, right? Like, we just have to fucking punch him on the end of the fucking nose. And I know, like, physical, analogies or whatever aren't always so cute. Whatever. But you guys know me. Like, we just, almost like there's just no more, we should not be. I don't know if we should not be. I'm questioning, should we be the party of more peaceful party anyways, right? We love protests and we'll always stand behind. I certainly will. But do we need to be, there's no rules in this fucking game, right? And when we're getting beat up by people that are playing really fucking dirty in the game with no rules, I don't know what else to say, but we have to fight back. I probably totally lost all you guys. I think I lost myself with that. So what do we say to these people when we're knocking on the door? Like the Bernie AOC rally, I guess, is kind of part of what I was thinking. That, yeah, it's a lot of good words, and Bill's right when he says it's fucking I forget what he said, something in verbiage. Poetry. But to be fair, That's all these politicians have until we put them in power, right? I mean, hopefully they're being honest with us in most ways, like the ones we appreciate and can respect about how bad things are, the dire situation, like not so much economically for now, unless Trump continues to tear it down, which he's hell bent on doing. That's really what it still is about, is us putting our faith, our vote, our faith in someone who tells us, what we know needs to happen. And so, it doesn't get done to the extent that we want a lot of times. And I don't know, we all have different levels of tolerance, and I don't know. I don't know how you people, we're very terrible judges of ourselves, right? I feel like I'm a pretty edgy bastard, but when it comes down to it, I really love people, and in a snap, in a heartbeat, I am more than willing to put everything aside and compromise, not in a way, and I don't say that in a way like if you take wars, for instance, right? I've said many times I'm not over there, but I think it would be really sad if Ukraine compromised any of their land after all the people that have been slaughtered. And for one reason, because that's not where Putin will stop, right? So we have a big system. The world is moving at 1 billion miles an hour. Society, right? Our advancements, just everything. I don't think anybody has the answer. But I do agree that we have to, or at least my thoughts are that we should be. It's not comfortable. As big of a mouth as I have, you guys, it's not that comfortable for me to want to be way more shitty and aggressive. And maybe some of you folks say, well, you don't have to be shitty TV to be more aggressive. But I'm not that complex of a person, right? So I kind of revert back to primal shit, I guess. I don't know. And this is, and a lot of you folks are my age or older, or we're all very close, right? It's not like we're just starting our families and having to fight for, the future, a really crazy, uncertain future, right? But we are, and I think that's cool. Better than cool. B says, everyone I missed earlier, Sarah Adams. Have any of you seen any interviews? I have seen some Sarah Adams interviews with that one cat, and I don't know, they're just, B, I've watched and been around a lot of that shit, like, for 15 plus years now. There's just, I don't know. It's not that there's always like successful folks like that, and I'm not saying that they are. Well, I don't have any evidence. There's just no doubt in my mind that one male host of whatever fucking show it is, he's not trustworthy. I completely concede that I have no proof or nothing to back up why I say that. He's not. But these folks, there's always all kinds of fucking scary truths and facts that come with their stories. But I don't know. I don't think shit like that gets. I don't be most of your. We're probably part of a 1%, a 2, 3, 4, 5% at the most that goes that deep into stuff, right? Into those things. It's very difficult. I'm sure you've heard me say that, my aunt worked in communications for the Secret Service under George W. for 2 years after 20 years of being in the Navy. My son, the job he has still with the government. I don't know. It's who's the other guy too that was that's doing all the UFO stuff that was like some sort of he was like a Navy SEAL and then went into intelligence or something. I forget his name. Yeah, I have Sarah Adams is a very intriguing person. I can't deny that. I was pretty absorbed listening to her. But there's just not there's just I mean, and her when you spend the amount of time someone like she did, someone like her does or has as a undercover agent as an agent, right? She has a billion fucking stories, and I don't say stories and like doubting that they're true. Sure, she's seen a lot of crazy shit, and that's a problem I have too. I'm a long format guy. It's like you can get me stuck on one fucking simple situation, topic, or whatever for hours. Yeah, I think that's it. B. Sean Ryan. Yeah, right on. No, T Mac, not Stephen, not Dr. Stephen Greer. T Mac, are you all right, brother? It bums me out that you always got me blocked over there, dude. Because I wouldn't even beat up on you that much. I almost feel sorry for you. Jesus Christ, Stephen Greer, huh? But you know what, T Mac? Stephen Greer is a great example of what I was just saying. How there's these folks that really have a lot to bring to the table, and unfortunately, it just for fucking decades, brother, it just doesn't ever fucking pan out. You know why? Do you know why, Mac? T Mac? For one, I find it very hard. It is, there's a couple really like um, confirmation questions, I guess. Uh, and you have to, one, ask how could all this stuff, and I can't go on. I wish I could just because I want people's eyes to be open to how things are, but I can't fucking run my mouth about shit or you just it never fucking pans out. Like there's I mean, you have to take into consideration how tough would it be to silence so many people over the years about this stuff. I'm not saying it isn't possible because everything that we see today is quite is a number of years behind some of the folks that are I'm not a conspiracy theorist. It's not, I don't pretend to think that I'm absolutely positive that there's no way in hell I understand the true complexities of how some shit's running. And maybe you guys think you do. But, just an example. You take, and I'm not, and again, I am not going crazy on like the Rothschilds and the, I was going to say Rosicrucians. That's not it, but there was another family I was trying to think. You know, for sure, I don't think it's that hard to accept that when you look at these families that have been wealthy for centuries, right? Generations and generations, and I'm talking 600-700 years, right? That when at that level, you know, it's like there isn't maybe an Einstein that comes along in our society, good or bad, all that often. Like there's it's a very small fraction of a percent, but all the way back, right? I mean, we can easily go back and think about, just the philosophers and, the great artists and at whatever point it was, you decide when it could all of a sudden be a possible issue. But these families accumulated so much wealth that at some point, none of them ever, for generations, they knew they would never have to focus or worry about survival or feeding themselves or the everyday stuff that we have pretty much all of America's history, right? So they can they have the resources and the time for generations to focus on things that we just do not think of. And I'm not saying that they're up to some crazy witchcraft. I'm saying, look, if you trust that the United States black projects are completely, no, I don't know how to say this. Like, I'm obviously not against us having black projects and keeping a lot of things secret, not because, they want to hold U.S., our government wants to hold U.S. citizens down, because you can't have the shit getting out there, right? It's an obvious one. But I don't think any of us understand just how far advanced. We can't possibly know how far advanced these black projects are. And, again, there's very smart people, and we see it in Elon. There's very smart people in this world. Some are shitty, some are good. Did I lose a bunch of folks again? Probably with that fucking rant. We have a lot of work to do. I'm going to keep going back to Hebert's post about door knocking being surprisingly effective. What do we tell folks? Because I know Hebert, I believe I do in my heart. I believe that I know, at least I know a lot of you folks' heart for the most part. I don't have to know y'all personally and get up in your grill, right? I know your heart, and that's what's important. Because you can't sit there and talk with folks every fucking day, and they're not going to crack. Me and Putin talked earlier about being consistent. That's all it's about. We're not perfect. When you're consistent, those are the people you can trust and take at their word. What do we say to folks to change this when we go out knocking on their door? Because I don't know. Same shit I'm saying to right now, Nobody's got fucking time for that. Well, nobody's going to give me the time for that. Maybe I could start doing some audio clips and mass emails. And again, I don't disagree with Hebert. I think for sure, face to face, and if you're passionate, it comes out. I don't give a fuck how educated or, in my case, uneducated you are, if you care and you have some humility, self-respect, and respect for others, it's going to come out. So I definitely don't disagree with A Bear at all. I think that's why I brought it up. It's like, what are we going to do? And even if it is whatever percentage of folks it is that you reach or get through to, you know, out of door knocking or out of flyers or out of advertisements, it's all of that, right? It's going to take all of it. Casper says the billionaires are talking about free cities, which doesn't bode well for everyday people. Well, Casper, I can see there's some aspect to like bread and circuses, right? I think, to put it really fucking, because I'm not all that good at being really crafty and poetic. Bread and circuses, right? Like maybe, for sure I can see that some billionaires or whoever have ill intentions with their money for control maybe could consider, hey, would this work? Let's make life super easy on these fucking lazy dumb fucks, right? That don't want to be don't want to be a part of this universe, or don't just want to, right, suck wind and whatever. We'll feed them, we'll house them, they don't have to do anything. I'm not sure if I've heard about this free city thing. But yeah, there's no doubt that I can see extremely disgustingly rich folks, instead of using their money maybe in show of force sort of way to control society, maybe, right? Like you get more flies with honey than you do vinegar. Curly says he's consistently right. And then he says, aren't you unemployed? Aren't you unemployed? I don't know who you're talking to, Curly. Who just blocked you, Curly? Jesus Christ. Curly, are you a drinker, dude? How old are you? What do you mean I just blocked you? Dude, are you a drinker? I thought you were younger than me, and I didn't think you were someone who... Maybe you aren't a drinker. Are you really that fucked up? I know, Mac. Curly comes in on fire. I'm here and TV fucking blocked me, the son of a bitch. The son of a bitch. Hey, by the way, whoever was hanging out with my stream, was it last? I think it was last night, wasn't it? Yeah, it was. Whoever hung out with me, I'm not happy with you. I had fucking effects on the microphone the whole time. I started listening back. I'm like, what in the hell? None of you guys just all sat there and listened to it with this huge fucking cave echo, like Grand Canyon reverb going on. Disappointed sometimes. What do you mean I'm unemployed, Curly? What the fuck are you talking about? Are you sure about that, buddy? Curly, you could... dude, I've never tested this theory, but you're going to have to say that a lot of times to make it true. I don't think you can say it enough. In some universe, Curly, in some dimension, you may be right. I hope so. For fuck's sake, I hope so. I hope there's some universe that exists where I'm unemployed for fucking A. Your mom, though she doesn't pay worth a shit. Who do you think you're playing with, you ding-dong? Curly, you don't want to get me started. I hope you won't get me started because I try to keep this stream as family friendly as possible. And man, dude, I could do you like a raw dog. That's how fucking stupid and easy you are. And I'm getting to be where my mind is getting to be a little mushy tonight, so. That's right. She's still better than you, buddy. Boom, chicka, wow, wow, boom, chicka, wow, wow. Curly, I guess you missed not too long ago. I said that, it's like come in and fucking be as harsh as you want, but why not say something? Be harsh with some substance. You just came in here being fucking stupid and you expect me to not fucking ride on you with some really cheesy fucking mom jokes? I just meet folks where they're at, Curly, because I'm a giver. She's with God? Sweet. Which one? Curly, nobody's making fun of people losing their parents. I don't have either one of mine around anymore either, young man. You have to... Curly, listen to me. Deep breaths. I'm pathetic. I know. Light it up, Curly. Curly, I just meet folks where they're at. Like I said, I'm a giver. And there's no doubt that you're a taker. About them. Yeah, Mac says this is the no respect part, and it's not even honestly, Mac. And it initially it's like I'm not. Rarely is it me. Do I feel like, all right, pressure's being put on me? Person just being a dick shit. It's like immediately when someone like Curly comes in and starts yapping, I'm like, God, this fucker has absolutely no respect for himself. And then, of course, no respect for anybody else either, but I just want to see folks take better care of themselves. That means being informed, Curly. That means not being afraid to say you're wrong, not being afraid to be humble, not being afraid to accept the fact that shit gets done in this country and always has when we can show some humility and collaboration, mutual respect. You don't have to fucking like, for fuck's sake, Curly, do you like everybody you work with? Well, you work in a truck by yourself, don't you? So you probably don't like everybody you work with. God, dude, you don't get it. You're a fucking clown. It's good shit. Nosy, did I say hi to you, sister? What's up? Thanks for coming by. Yeah, I didn't get a chance to say that, Jay. I agree. Thanks, President Biden, for all you fucking did. For sure, for sure. Max says, in all fairness, when he drove, he didn't like his coworker much either. Did you drive by yourself, Mac? Or did you actually have a coworker? I think, isn't, I think Curly probably drives by himself. He delivers beans or some shit. I don't know. We'd have to ask James. Curly says, TV, I stay away from the imbeciles like you. Anybody have a timestamp on how long Curly's been here? Not real long, Curly. I can't beat up on you too bad yet, but you have wasted 10 minutes of your time staying away from imbeciles like me. You're not very good at it, by the way. You know, there's about a billion fucking other YouTube streams out there. So for trying to avoid me, you haven't done a great job. Max says, yeah, he drove by himself. We are our own worst enemies, Mac. Yeah, I did a lot of like when I was at Pete's. I mean, it was fuck long ass days, right? We weren't well. I guess plowing would have been the worst, but it wasn't as often. Like right in the summer, I mean, we'd get into the shop at 7:30 or whatever, quarter to 8. We couldn't get in on most properties until 8 a.m. and we had to be off them by 8 p.m. Some of the areas 7 p.m. But so easily 12-hour days. And thankfully, you know, his great boss never had to work weekends unless we got rained out a few days during the week because that'd put you way behind. But plowing, man, that was a whole different story. You didn't get, I mean, running fucking 15, 20 different accounts in the summer a day, you know, you're in your truck for 5 minutes, out for 45 minutes, so on and so forth. Plowing, holy shit. I got pissed a couple times. I'm like, this is fucking stupid. I'm like, you know, and I'm a team player, but it's like I'd finish my fucking route and then be out there and it's like I wasn't a noob. I didn't have the easiest routes. I didn't have the hardest ones necessarily, but then I'd be out there 3 hours afterwards, fucking helping other people, and I'm all about that. But it's like, what the fuck are you doing? It's like after fucking 15 hours in a truck, I'm like, this is stupid shit. Somebody's getting hurt or plowing was a fucking crazy gig. You're fucking staring at fucking snow just blasting at your windshield, right? Tunnel vision with headlights, pounding down fucking caffeine, whatever. You made me acknowledge you, Curly, did you? It's kind of what streamers do, Curly. They stream and have chats and they talk to the people in the chats. Curly, you need to relax a little bit, buddy. All right? Nobody's got any hate for you, dude. You just need to calm the fuck down, man. You need to stop thinking that your fucking bubble life is the way everybody else should live. I know you like me, Curly, otherwise you wouldn't fucking be here. You don't have to call me an idiot. You could just like at any time start being a normal chatter, and you can still fucking have your extreme conservative views. And when you start respecting yourself, who knows? Maybe some folks will start talking to you and taking you serious. I don't see that happening for a while, but or at all. You gotta calm down, dude. There's nothing wrong with being passionate, but I mean, I'm not Curly. Explain to me what you think you have to gain from coming in and telling a host that you like them, but they're an idiot. I mean, I'm not a comedian. I don't know what to say, Curly. I want nothing but the best for you and your family. There's no doubt about it. Unless you be out there doing some really fucking raw shit, then you can fuck off. Nosy's handing out hugs. Ow! Group hug, group hug. Let me find something funky and I gotta get the fuck out of here. Oh, I don't know about C minor. I'm kind of, maybe D minor. It says not nasty funk jam track in D minor. Hey, thanks for hanging out, you guys. I'll see you again soon, alright? Remember, any of you Trumpers listening, can't be the party of law and order and support a rapist. That's right.